To find a love that was real, I had to become a lie. I called myself Anna, a simple name for a life stripped of everything I knew. I traded penthouse views for a tiny walk-up that always smelled of damp laundry. My days were spent pouring coffee, my life measured in tips. It was an exhausting, beautiful fabrication, but I felt more authentic in those threadbare clothes than I ever did in couture. I was free from the gilded cage of my family's empire, free to be loved for who I was, not what I had. Then I met Mark. He was an investment banker, a supernova of charm and ambition who saw the world as a ladder. Our first months were a whirlwind of stolen kisses behind the cafe and late-night talks where he'd map out his glorious future. But on our third date, at a tiny Italian restaurant, he snapped his fingers at the waiter. The flicker of disdain in his eyes was a warning I chose to ignore. I told myself his drive was admirable, another beautiful lie. His ambition was a drug, and I was addicted to the man I thought he could be. But the cracks in his perfect facade began to spread. He scoffed at my anniversary gift, a watch I had saved for 3 months to buy. He called my life quaint, my dreams small. How could I have been so blind to the cruelty hiding behind that perfect smile? He loved the idea of saving the poor girl, but he despised the reality of her poverty. This obsession with status is a story we see play out every day. Ambition twisting love into a transaction, where your net worth matters more than your heart. He saw me not as a partner, but as a project, a before picture he could one day show off. His firm's annual gala was approaching, the glittering peak of his social calendar. He wanted me there, on his arm, his little charity case for all his colleagues to see. He promised the gala would be a night to remember. He had no idea how right he was. They saw a powerless girlfriend he could humiliate and discard. The performance was almost over. And the curtain was about to rise on my final, devastating act. That slap wasn't an ending, it was an activation. In the silent leather of my town car, I let Anna die. My fingers dialed a single number, and my voice was the sharp steel of Anastasia Sterling. Mr. Thorne, liquidate the Henderson portfolio and begin the hostile acquisition of Beaumont Investments. Immediately. The game was on. The next morning, their world fractured. A sterling global press release announced my return as sole heiress after a 2-year sabbatical. The photo wasn't meek Anna, it was me, poised and ruthless. They thought the quiet girl they humiliated was just some powerless charity case. They were about to learn how fragile perceived status is when real influence makes its move. Mark's phone must have shattered from the calls. His company, Beaumont Investments, was the first piece I took from the board. I didn't just buy it, I consumed it. I wanted him to walk into his office and find my name on the letterhead. The woman he struck now owned his entire future. But his career was only the appetizer. His social climbing mistress was next.